Urge. 94.9 The Urge. Hatfield's home for rock.
I'm Willie the Kid, and there's nothing you can do about it.
This is another film now that is very much of an unpleasant discovery. It's an unpleasantly, absolutely reprehensible little sleaze pit of a movie named Friday the 13th Part 2. And of course, this is a sequel to last summer's movie Friday the 13th, and it's a continuation of the senseless, gruesome, violent murders we saw in that first film.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned.
Friday the 13th Part 2 isn't just against women, it's against everybody. Here's the way this film is being sold on television.
The body count continues. The day you count on for terror is not over. Friday the 13th, Part 2.
It's the same movie, shot after shot. And I can only add that, yeah, when the machete went into the head of the kid in the wheelchair, that's about when I gave up on the picture.
It's all done, Jason. Now come to mommy. Come on. Jason, Mother is talking to you!
Well, that condenses the high points, or maybe I should say the low points of this sequel.
And we both hated Friday the 13th Part 2, another movie about a mad slasher with a knife, a hatchet, and a machete.
So it'd be an understatement to say that we both hated Friday the 13th Part 2.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JEFFMAN316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. This is the next episode of JEFFMAN316 Live Let's Talk Movies, where we chat about movies and we do a watch-along. I'm your host, as always, JEFFMAN316, and tonight we're scheduled to watch Friday the 13th Part 2. I already know we got some guys in the house. Let's see. Rick came by. Hello, Jeff Man. Hope you're having a great Easter. Yeah, I had a great day. Had dinner with my family, so everything was good. Everyone, infection in my foot is acting up, and I'm not feeling well. So you will see me. You guys see me next week. Love everyone. Stay safe. Yeah, appreciate you, Scott. I know you're probably not watching, but if you watch this back, really appreciate you, and I hope you feel well soon, brother. Hope it gets better. Yep, Doug's wishing your foot was better. And he's seeing Renfield on Wednesday. I might wait. You let me know how that is before I see it. But I am going to go see Evil Dead Rise, and I don't buy my tickets in advance because the theater I go to, if I go early, they never have anybody in there. And then you're seeing Super Mario Brothers. I'm skipping that. Man, these guys seem to not like any movies. Major Reeves says, hey, man, what's going on? I appreciate you stopping by. I will let you guys know in on some behind the scenes. Doug and I were chatting the other day. Doug said that we failed the homework assignment that we all had because we were supposed to be picking something a little more adult. Something had maybe had some good nudity in it. And we had the choices were Doug's was, I forget, what was yours, Doug? Bikini Spring Break or something like that. Mine was Don't Fuck in the Woods, which I've already seen, and it's got some pretty good gore and nudity in it, but it's like really cheesy. And then I had Friday the 13th, Part 2, which one of you guys suggested. And I was looking back at it. Friday the 13th Part 2 actually only really has one major nude scene, and it's pretty epic. It's one of the best ones in the series that most people remember. But with that being said, I told Doug, we've already chose it now. I'm going to watch it. Now, if we watch it, I need you guys to chime in because I've got it on Blu-ray, I've got it on DVD, and which means I've got digital code so I can watch it on Vudu. it isn't on Tubi anymore. So I remember weeks ago when we were first looking this thing up, it was on there. So I'm wondering if it ended at the beginning of April. I don't think they have any Friday the 13th movies on Tubi anymore. So they pulled them off. I've got it fired up on Pluto TV. I watched a few minutes of it, and I watched a movie on Pluto TV actually late last night. And it didn't have that many commercials in it compared to what I remembered. But I know Skull Crusher's here, and he says that he's going to watch it on Blu-ray, which if you do, that means you'll stay ahead of us. Unless when the ads pop up, I can let you know, because I want to, if you guys really want to watch along, I'll choose whatever option that's available to you guys is what I'll watch. So if you guys have it on disc and want to put that in there, I could start my Voodoo copy. Or if you guys don't and want to do the Pluto option, let me know so we can chat a few minutes before we start. So I told him I wasn't going to switch the movie because I'd already made the intro video and everything. But Friday the 13th Part 2 came out in 1981. It's rated R. It's an hour and 27 minutes. The synopsis goes 5 years after the events of the first film. A summer camp next to the infamous Crystal Lake is prepared to open, but the legend of Jason is weighing heavy on the proceedings. And I forgot that it wasn't even the original camp that was opening again. I'm not going to go through the full cast list, but Amy Steele is Jenny, and she's one of most people's favorite final girls. She's one of mine. Betsy Palmer returns for a little cameos as Mrs. Voorhees. So does Adrian King, who was supposed to have a bigger part. And then we also get Crazy Ralph, played by Walt Gorney. The movie is directed by Steve Miner. So as long as you guys are okay, I'm going to just fire it up on Tubi. If I've got my Tubi set up here. Hold on a second. I got my earbuds in so you won't be seeing it. And there's Cody. What's up, brother? I'm going to fire this movie up so we can start chatting. So I'm going to just put it on Tubi. I mean on Pluto TV, since Tubi. Yeah, that's what I meant. Pluto TV. I'm going to go ahead and start it on there. And anybody that ends up watching on disc, I'll let you know when I'm in a commercial so that you can pause yours if you want to keep, so we can keep up. But either way, I need to pay better attention to the choices because make sure that I don't really like Pluto TV. I like Tubi better. But we don't have to worry about it next week because Cody is making us watch Carousel. And I've actually talked to the director about buying a copy of that on Blu-ray. And so he hooked me up with his store. So, yeah, I've got it fired up on Pluto TV. And so I'm going to give you the countdown. Are you ready, Dougie? We're going to watch this, and then you can bitch about the having this movie not having enough nudity for your taste as we go. So let me know when you're ready. So I hope everybody out there is having a good day. What's going on, Cody? What you been doing? I know, I was just busting your chops, allowing me the privilege. We keep talking about it is why I want to watch it, because I think it's going to be one of the ones we can just make fun of, and we haven't done that in a while. We've been picking some pretty like iconic horror movies like The Burning, and we watched Terrifier before, and I think we haven't had one that was just like pure cheese. And Doug wants to convince all of us that we need to watch. Where to go? Then week after that, Bikini Spring Break is what he's saying. Pretty good day. Knocked out a few of the Wild Eye movies I bought. Oh, you can let us know once we start this thing up. It's fun. It's a fun out there movie. Yeah. Well, remember we watched the first few minutes of it, and I was making fun of. I couldn't, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't see how he became. What do you want to call it? Well, how he was, was alive. All right, you've been ready. All right, so I'm gonna start bullshitting. Sorry. So I'm getting ready. 5, 4, 3. Can I do 3, 2, 1? All right, I'm firing up Friday the 13th Part 2. So Skull Crusher said he was watching it on Blu-ray, so you can go ahead and hit start. Yeah, sorry, man. I was talking. It's my channel. I'll start when I want, man. He made Carousel for $1,000. Yeah, you could tell. What about Carousel 2? How much did that cost? Do you know? Follow the rain. We got Itsy Bitsy Spider here. You know, until I started getting into YouTube and watching people's videos and horror, chat, I didn't pay as close attention to some of these movies as I probably should have over the years. But Friday the 13th Part 2, I didn't even realize that you never really see Jason, because, not to spoil it, but at the end, that's not really him and that's not what he looks like. So you literally, until you see him in part 3, you don't actually see Jason what he actually looks like as a man. All right, so I used to always laugh at this green onesie jumpsuit thing she would be wearing here at the beginning, thinking how cheesy it is, if even for the 80s. But either way, so she's having a nightmare about her time at the lake, remembering Mrs. Voorhees. And I was reading an article a couple weeks ago about her, and was talking about how she was supposed to have a way bigger part in part 2. And then, I don't know if you guys are familiar with all this trouble she's had behind the scenes with stalkers or whatever. It seems like her life has not been, it's like it hasn't been aligned for her to be a part of the Friday the 13th series like the way it should. So I thought it was kind of cool she came back and did one of those fan films. Well, you can start whatever you want. It doesn't matter, man. I don't. It's even more off the wall, though. With the second one, Jesus Christ, how more off the wall can you be about a horse that jumps off the carousel and goes around killing people? I watched Dracula 1931 today to get ready for Renfield. I've watched Dracula and Frankenstein, him and that long ago. Those are pretty good. I was more of a fan of Bride of Frankenstein than the original Frankenstein, from what I remember. I always like the trivia about what's her head that plays Pamela Voorhees, about how she didn't really want to do any of these movies, but she did it to help pay for a car because she needed a car. How you doing? What's going on, man? Happy Easter. Same to you. Can't wait for Renfield. Nicolas Cage. Yeah, that looks good. So if you guys, I can't go during the week. So you guys let me know if it's any good or not. I might go check it out on Saturday. I thought this was kind of cheesy that in an hour and 20-some minute movie, you get all this repeat shit here at the beginning of her just remembering having a dream about what happened. Frankenstein used to be my favorite, then Bride took over me my favorite Frankenstein, a Son of Frankenstein. I haven't watched that in a while. What's the main plot of Son of Frankenstein? But I love Bride of Frankenstein. That was always one of my favorites. Yeah, I think at the time, though, is what I was talking about, how she needed to get a car, and so she literally accepted the paycheck because she was able to go pay cash basically for the car she wanted to buy. Betsy Palmer, no offense to Betsy Palmer, but I doubt I would ever even known her name if she hadn't been in Friday the 13th with anybody. But yeah, I know she's with all the cons and stuff she's done since then. Hey, you want to know the irony? I'm at the part where she's still having her nightmare. So Adrian King's character is in the boat. she's laying on a bed having a dream, and this is supposedly a dream. So she's dreaming about a dream she had. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I think I'm in a minority that think Tom Cruise is the mummy, that like Tom Cruise mummy. It's a shame that movie caused him to stop to the reboot of the Universal Monsters. Yeah, I kind of liked it. I didn't think it was terrible, but yeah, I was looking forward to that because they were talking about who they were going to line up to be in some of the other ones. So I thought that would have been cool if they had went on with the reboot of the Universal Monsters, but I guess it didn't make enough money and it got a lot of bad word of mouth. I got all the old Universal Monster movies on DVD. I didn't have them all on DVD, and I bought that box set that's got the 3 busts in it. Like I got it cheap when it first came out. So it's got like the Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman sets. So I didn't have anything other than those. So then when they released them on Blu-ray, I bought all the rest. And then I haven't went back and bought the 4Ks because black and white looks pretty good on Blu-ray anyway. But I did buy that Mummy Steelbook that was clearanced out on bestbuy.com. Friday the 13th Part 2 when Jason wears a potato sack. Part 2 had better kills than 1. Yeah, 1 I think is pretty lame. Actually, like I was thinking about doing a maybe a tier list, and if not, like a ranking of the major horror franchises, like Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Halloween. Like, where would you rank the first parts against each other, and which would be best? There is no way Friday the 13th is better than any of those. I think the first one is is really weak. It's more of a whodunit type of movie. Surprised I didn't find a new life, at least on HBO Max or Netflix. Yeah, I know. Frankenstein's son comes to the village and he meets Bela Lugosi as Igor and revives the monster, and Frankenstein is trying to hide it from the inspector, and Igor has people killed for hanging him. That doesn't sound like a bad plot. I've seen it. It's just been long ago. A buddy of mine does a Friday marathon and starts with The Burning instead of Friday 1. Yeah, I know we watched The Burning, on here. A lot of people think that The Burning is a way better, camp slasher movie than the original Friday the 13th. I always thought Friday 2 was a much stronger movie once it gets going than the first Friday. It's pretty weak. The first Friday the 13th is. Did you guys have the box set of this where it's got the deleted scenes and stuff? Because the Alice kill here is pretty wicked as far as the uncut version. I remember watching this back in the day on HBO and going, how fucking lame is this, man? You got a chick like undressing off camera and comes out wearing a robe. What kind of horse shit is that? I would put Nightmare 1 or first Hellraiser as best first movies. I forgot about Hellraiser. Yeah, the first Hellraiser is pretty cool. She's taking this shower. Listen to this. She's in there like, 10 seconds and opens it up. And then here's the phone ring. I never understood that shit either. Like, I see Peter's in here. What's going on, man? My top 3 are 4, 6, and 2. Yeah, my 6 is obviously, on at the top of my list. 4, and then probably maybe I forget what I ranked them, but it's always 2 and 7 are up there. The rest of them are kind of all hover together in the middle. But I didn't understand that. Like, why did she get in the shower for 10 seconds and open the curtain and then the phone rang? The timing of that is pretty fucking stupid. Saw a Stephen King DVD set at Walmart. It had Cujo, Pet Cemetery, Silver Bullet, Graveyard Shift, and more. It was way too expensive, $49. Hell, yeah, there is no way, especially if you say that was DVD, that's Blu-ray prices right there. Wait and get that stuff in like Big Lots. Hey, Peter, what's up, brother? Says Cody, and then Peter says, what's up? Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by, Peter. What I was talking about is I just think this opening is kind of lame, like 10 minutes of flashbacks and then Obviously, she's not going to do anything cool as far as nudity in the movies. But as Doug pointed out, as far as picking something with a more adult content in it, we failed miserably by picking Friday 2. But it does have that. It has one pretty iconic nude scene in it with the girl doing the skinny dipping at night. It's not the best one. If we're going to talk adult stuff, Peter, you're a big Friday the 13th fan. Most iconic, best nude scene in Friday the 13th in the franchise. Yeah, Cocaine Bear comes on Peacock this week. I think it's not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. It also comes out on Blu-ray. I don't think it's got a 4K release. So, but yeah, I think it might be. Is it Friday that it comes out on Peacock? Did you see how early Shazam is going to come out? That's coming out like right at the beginning of May. So it literally had like about a month of in the theater before it's coming out. The last Friday 13 had the most nudity in it. It did. Is that what everybody would consider the most iconic scene when he's talking about how they're, what did he say? They were stupendous. Oh, he's talking about Son of Frankenstein. She finds the head in the refrigerator. I think it's cool when they show the uncut version and you see the angle that the ice pick is going in and coming out. It's Boris Karloff's last movie is a monster. It's visually the best for me, and Bela Lugosi is great as Igor. People recognize his performance more than Dracula. Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. Mario's coming out on Prime next month. Yeah, and I'll wait for that. I'm not going to go see Mario Brothers in the theater. I just know that it's going to be full of kids, and I just cannot stand. I'm at a commercial if anybody wants to know. I'm watching this on Pluto, so if you're watching it on disc, you can pause it, and I'll let you know when it's back. Doug wants lots of boobies. Is there any nudity in Carousel, Cody? Doug has to be the boob master here. Here, Peter, hello. Well, love your movies, buddy. Yeah, I think we all love Peter's movies, especially since they're Friday the 13th related. That was Friday Reboot, I think. Stupendous. Yeah, that was the one where he was laying on the bed. That's the biggest douchebag. He gets the award for biggest douchebag in the series. Is the guy that's fucking her. The movie I chose has more nudity and all the Friday 13th combined. That's all Doug is worried about is titties. Yes, there is. Hey, Doug, there's nudity in Carousel. So you will love next week. You know, Cody, I didn't want to try to start a conversation with him. I did tell the guy, the director, when I asked for his link to buy his movie. I did tell him we were going to be doing a watch along next. I didn't tell him the date. Thought I might eventually ask him, did he want to come on and talk about the movie? You think he would? Have you guys interviewed him before? Yeah, we already did the watch along for the reboot. It was stupendous. I'd rank Jason Goes to Hell at the very bottom. It was a mess, but it did have a really good nude scene in it. I wish Barbara Crampton would have been in one of the Friday 13th movies. She would have shown some skin. Hell, that's true. Collecting Hobbies Maximum. Hello. Hey, what's going on? So I'm back on Friday the 13th too. It's at commercial. They were pretty quick. So it's at the Friday the 13th part 2 logo. And one of the better theme songs as far as the score here during the Friday, I really like it. It's got basically all the classic overtures and stuff in it. So, but next week we'll watch Carousel and we'll be back on Tubi. Do you have any of the hey Doug, do you have any of the movies on digital? Friday the 13th. One day we need to watch part 4 and you'll understand my question once you answer. We had a discussion about Carousel and he responded with probably the most thorough responses and insight we ever got from somebody that wasn't actually there for the discussion. Do you mean he was live chatting with you guys or was he doing it after the fact? All of them. What do you have them all on digital? If you have them on digital, why aren't we watching it on streaming? Oh yeah, that chick with scene with the chick in the shower, right on the Jason Goes to Hell one. Well, isn't Jason Goes to Hell where the girl's in the tent and gets stabbed, and basically she's riding the guy sitting up, and she gets stabbed, and half her body gets ripped in half. Yeah, here at the beginning when we don't have as many people coming in, it doesn't fucking matter where we're watching. Oh, I mean, I could watch this if you guys. Hey, who's watching it on their actual physical copy? He wasn't live. He sent us a message that basically answered every question and praised us on catching things a lot of people didn't. Well, shit, dude, I'm not going to sit there and study the thing while we're watching it. But since you're the carousel master, you have to do that while we're here. So you need to actually watch it when we're watching it next week. You got to watch it with us and point some of that stuff out. So there's old crazy Ralph. And Doug, if you got it on digital, I'm switching this fucking thing to Voodoo, man. I'm not watching all these commercials. It's not like we got 1,000 people in here and it's going to piss anybody off. I always like this scene because I even noticed from day one when I watched it that while they're on the phone that somebody was backing up getting ready to tow their truck. We're at the, I can't see Mark. I'm an old man. I got to put my glasses on. Something that small. That's what she said. We're at the 1449 mark. I'm switching to my Voodoo copy without commercials. And I promise we'll be better organized next time. I think part 2 you can only buy direct. Part 3 is now fully funded. Yeah, when I started following him on Facebook, when I was chatting with him about, you can buy part 1 direct now. He's got the part 1 Blu-ray and DVD and back in his store now. He told me, he sent me the link. Give me 1 second. I'm starting this Friday the 13th up. All right, part 2. I'm playing it, and I'm skipping ahead to the 15-minute mark. Yep, so they just got back in their truck. Do not buy the $250 trilogy box set. What the fuck? What are you talking about? You talking about he's going to be, he's got one of that as his crowdfunding items? I'm planning on going to see Evil Dead Rise. The 2013 reboot was okay. And we'll go. I love the 2013 reboot of Evil Dead. I think it's borderline. If I got to watch an Evil Dead movie, I almost watch that more now than I watch the Evil Dead 2, which used to be my favorite. It's just because if I don't mind the cheese factor and like a lot of comedy in it, I'll watch the original 1 or 2, or Army of Darkness. But if you just want a straight up horror movie, then the uncut version of the 2013 reboot of Evil Dead is amazing. Yeah, cool. I'm about 16 minutes too. They've got the tree in front of the truck is where they're at. That chick there with the one with the guy with the t-shirt, she should have shown some boobage in this movie. The remake was hard to hear. Which one are we talking about? You talking about the remake of Friday the 13th? It only has new commentary on 1 and 2, and it comes in a box. Yeah, you can trust me. There is nothing. I might pay $25 for a carousel box set. I am not paying $250 for anything. You talking about the remake of Evil Dead? I've never thought it was hard to hear. I don't know why you would think that. Where am I at? No, I don't. Well, it may be unpopular for you and I. I think I even said that when I did my top 5 horror remakes or reboots. I picked Evil Dead as the number one, and I even said in it that I'm starting to think that I've watched it more than the originals, and I'm starting to like them more. It's all in your taste of movies and like what mood you're in for whether straight up horror. Sometimes I don't want any comedy or any shenanigans in there. The Evil Dead remake, yeah, I didn't notice that. Wait a minute. How do you like the Bloodline storyline now? I don't, since I don't know exactly where they're going with it. I mean, I'm sure it looks like they're taking Cody down the John Cena path from when he lost to The Rock and was really, disheartened afterwards, and then eventually got a rematch with him and beat him. It looks like they're taking that path. John Cena got beat up by Brock Lesnar the next night on Raw, just like Cody did. So I assume that you're going to get Matt Riddle. Hold on a second. At least you get to see some nice cheekage right here, Doug. This is the hot chick right here. You get to see nude later. Thank the Lord for crop tops. But either way, you're going to get Matt Riddle, Sammy, and Owens versus the Usos and Solo. I'm assuming in Backlash, and you'll get Cody versus Brock. And from what I understand, you're not going to get Roman at all. So that's the only problem I've still got with the Bloodline storyline is Roman is hot garbage as a champion that doesn't show up on most of the shows. You got to divide those belts up if you're going to do that. So, I mean, I'm just kind of pissed that they didn't. Maybe they'll do something with the draft, but I look for Cody to eventually be the one that beats Roman. And if it can bring some other people along the way and it can push Solo and Jay and people back up, in a higher spot on the pecking order, more power to them. Better than My Bloody Valentine remake, which is cool because of the blonde chick on My Blood. Yeah, I know that was one of the. That's what I was saying. We need to. I want to do a list of my favorite nude scenes in horror movies. One night when we were talking about that, I started taking some of the notes from where you guys talked, and we had talked about Barbara Crampton in The Reanimator was one, and then we were talking about the chick in Friday the 13th, the reboot, and then we were talking about that were the My Bloody Valentine. But Friday the 13th, the first 3 or 4 they don't have a ton of nudity in them. They got a little bit. Bloodline gross. Yeah, you just don't like the fact that Cody lost. I live in an apartment, so you have to be worried about the sound. It would be great, really loud. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I really never have had to worry about that problem. I read supposedly the Brock and Cody thing was planned all along. Yeah, so did I. I read that Triple H planned that like at least a month or 2 ahead of time going into it, and Cody knew exactly what the storyline was going to be. Yeah, she does have a nice body. I also saw that Seth's segment was cut while he was. Yeah, I saw the actual footage of him in the ring, like leaning over the ropes, like bitching at the people about his segment being cut for time. I wish the actress on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 would have done a small nude scene with Leatherface. Carolyn Williams, she's still beautiful at her age. Yeah, I know she was always a pretty good looking woman. And I think back in the day, everybody was hoping that Amy Steele would do something because she's fairly good looking too. She's more of a natural beauty. Like she doesn't, wear a lot of makeup and stuff, but I think she's still pretty. I don't like that Roman hasn't lost since before the pandemic. Yeah, I don't like the fact the last person that pinned him was Baron Corbin. That's horseshit. That's my new favorite slogan, horseshit. I need to put that on a t-shirt. Somebody kin to me responded on my box of Burt that I opened and had that Burt Reynolds bumper sticker, said I needed to put that damn thing on my car. I was like, yeah, well, I'm driving the work car now. I think the last thing I need to do is pull in the the parking lot on the work Tesla with the damn Burt Reynolds like half naked bumper sticker on there. I'm trying to get shenanigans going. You're a shenanigans starter. Maybe I should put that on a t-shirt. Shenanigans. Of course, the mustache wearing out of touch old idiot Vince ruined Cody Rhodes and Oscar too. I don't think Vince had anything to do with Cody, man. I think that was the plan all along. I think Triple H, like I said, this is basically the Cena storyline over again. They're gonna. Cody had not had any pitfalls, no hardship. He had done nothing other than his injury, which wasn't a work, to stop him. He hadn't had any roadblocks. Nothing had been put in his way. We're at the campfire scene, and I will say this is one of the most iconic scenes in the franchise because they use this obviously in one of the intros for the later films. I don't like Roman at all, and is that the whole Dom and Ray real? No, it's not real. Ray, one of the reasons he re-signed with the WWE is because he wanted to help train his son and get his son established. Ray will retire here in a year or two, and he'll have gotten his son over as a pretty big heel as of right now. So he wanted to be part of his son's start in the WWE, and I think he did a really good damn job. That was one of the best storylines going of the year. Is it true Bailey is asking for release? And I heard the Damage Control is going to be broken up by old Vince McMahon. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know. Bailey was there Monday and wasn't used. I think from what I heard is they and dude, you have to admit, Damage Control, and it's been poor booking mainly. They suck as a team. They haven't won anything of any significance. So I do think they need to break them up. I think Io Shirai is an excellent wrestler. I've never been a Dakota Kai fan, so I don't think they need her. But I don't think they wanted to damage Bailey's reputation by having her out there when they lose. So I think that's another reason they didn't have her out there. But I think they've put too much time and effort into Bailey in the last year or so to just toss that. I think she'll stay. They had the tag titles. Yeah, but they never fought anybody. They went months because Dakota was hurt for a little while, and they just never fought anybody that mattered. I mean, and they never defended the belt on an important match that made this scene important anyway. I just don't like them as a team. I like get rid of Dakota and have Io and Bailey team up. If Bailey leaves, you're going to riot. Yeah, I've Bailey's grown on me over the last couple years. So yeah, she's a really good wrestler. So they miss a lot if Bailey left. Exactly. If they were going to push that group, to me, they needed somebody better than Dakota in there. But then they needed Bailey to win the women's title, and they needed them to keep the tag titles. Dakota should be released to send back to NXT. She's the weak link. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know what you think, Cody. I just don't think Dakota Kai is that good. She at least looked a little bit better. Isn't she living with Shayna Baszler? Aren't they shagging? Did you see the intro I did? Basically talking about when the dude in the wheelchair gets killed, that was basically when Soul said he needed to get him leave. I think I've figured out what a movie review series I'm going to do in the future. Dakota takes more bumps than anyone in the women's division, but is that good? I mean, I still don't mean she's a good wrestler. Rumor was that Vince didn't want them back. Well, I mean, he had already released Dakota Kai, and I don't think he's Vince has never been all in on any of those women, especially the ones who don't speak good English, because they can't push the agenda of his WWE while they're out there on the mic. Oh, as they said on Seinfeld, no, not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't care. That's commitment. Dakota and Shayna Baszler. Yep. They should have put them in a tag team. I really do like the idea of Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey a tag team, but dude, Ronda Rousey is so bad in the ring, though. As I jokingly said, if you have to have Shayna Baszler as your mouthpiece on the mic, how bad are you? If Roman Reigns doesn't lose those titles this year, I might stop watching until a new champion's crown. Yeah, they need to at least split it. I don't mind him holding the Universal title because that's the one he started with. He could hold that for the next 2 years for all I care. But he needs to get rid of. Hey, at least you get to see Jenny in her bra here. Doug was still sitting there wanting to know where his nudity's at. When I saw that really fast, your comment, Skull Crusher, says if Roman Reigns doesn't lose those titles, I thought when I glanced up first, I thought it said if he doesn't lose those titties, because every time Doug was talking about something, he was typing titties. Thoughts on Rhea saying Ray's a deadbeat in almost every video she does, and even in press conference. Yeah, she stays in character when she's on there, on and off, man. I mean, she's supposed to be like helping Dom. I do think she'll eventually break from them. Having her as champ was a top priority of Triple H because she was pushing her big before. I think it was maybe Vince didn't see as much in her, but that's they see a Triple H pick right there for a women's champion. And she has gotten so much better over the last year or so. Hot lesbian action. I remember when Eric Bischoff came up with that on Raw. Yeah, I remember that. HLA. We got Jason's feet again on camera. No, this is not Jason. This is Ralph in one of the stupidest parts I've ever seen in the movie. It always bothered me even when I was younger when I watched this. I'll tell you why when it happens. So hold on a second. So Ralph is standing up against the tree with his back to it, listening in on seeing what they're doing. And so he hears something. What was she going to tell him? He hears something. He swings around, and here's Jason swinging around this thing around his neck. Was that tree cut off like 6 inches above? If this was a full-blown tree, what did he fucking use to jump? How did he have like a long rope that he swung over? How did he get that over the top of that tree? I'm surprised the old man gets killed. I always thought he lasted longer. Yeah, I always thought they maybe should have let him ride out in the series. Beware of bears, don't be menstruating in the woods, as that guy told him. He does is it part 7? The montage at the beginning, that same guy is the one who does the voiceover of the montage. Yeah, I heard he's going to the Ravens. There's no way that I would have signed with the Ravens until I knew that 100% Lamar Jackson was going back to the Ravens. I mean, who's going to throw the ball to him? But there is also not another team stupid enough to pay him $18 million. Rhea's your second favorite. Yeah, I really like Rhea. She's at this point, since Alexa isn't on there, yeah, she's pretty high up on my list too. God, if they end up doing a champion versus champion at SummerSlam, she better beat them Bianca Belair. Well, Roman, that just winning in general because he has to cheat every time is getting damn old. That's their opportunity to do something with the draft, man. I saw a stat about 7 out of the last 10 men to win the Royal Rumble. When the Rumble lost, you mean the men that won the Royal Rumble lost in Mania? Well, the last 3 winners of the Rumble lost to Roman. You tried heating up the kernels and burn them. I get the Oval Redenbach, Pop Secret 100-calorie little mini bags. I didn't have any kernels, but maybe 1 or 2 left in this. OBJ is trash. Yeah, the best part of his career is over with. There's no way anybody should be paying him that much money. Was it part 6 that had the twins nude? No, that's part 4. You don't see a ton of nudity from the twins, but you see some flashes, especially the skinny dipping scene. The reason I was asking earlier, since I already had the movies in digital, I was cleaning up and found I've got an extra code for Friday the 13th part 4 digital redeem. Maybe I'll just stick that out on social media sometime this week. And or maybe I'll post it in the community tab of YouTube and let one of my YouTube supporters have it if anybody needs it. The Double Mint twins, yeah. Part 6, from what I understand, remember, I don't think part 6 had any nudity at all in it. 7 had a little bit. I don't think 6 had any. You should like part 6, Doug. I mean, yeah, Doug. That was the one that basically people consider as almost like a Universal monster type storyline as far as how he brought him back. Do you ever watch Impact TNA Wrestling? I haven't watched. It's not Impact TNA anymore. I don't think it's not TNA anymore. Is it? It's just Impact Wrestling. I've watched here or there a match or 2 on YouTube. You probably heard Cody and I talk about when it was first started. Excuse me. First 5-7 years, I watched it a lot, and I went to a lot of the shows, and that was when they had a lot of good people there. Their homegrown talent. When they started bringing in Hogan, Sting, all the WCW guys, and they started giving them pushes over top of the homegrown talent, I quit watching it. I was trying to remember how these chicks looked in their bathing suits here. Yep, you're like me. The original TNA was good, man. The Flying Elvises. Bouncing boobies. Yeah, didn't that what I said during the WrestleMania watch along? I'm tired of Bianca's just the same old every time. They need to. I think they said the night before Backlash, she will break Becky's record for the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion or just Women's Champion in general. Maybe once that's over, we can have her lose. TNA house shows are the most fun I ever had a wrestling show. Pretty close. I think the 2 original ECW shows that I was telling you about were my 2 favorite. Then it was probably my TNA shows that I went to where I did a meet and greet every single time and met all of them. So that was really good. Yep. I don't mind it. I just like Jason Lives, man. I mean, I think it's a really good story. It uses a lot of classic horror tropes in it as far as like original, like the old school horror, like you was talking about the Universal monsters type things, like bringing them back to life. And it's at a camp. It's got kids in it. That's just one of my favorite movies. It was the first one I saw in theaters too. So. Is that guy named Jeff? That's why he's super cool. That's why he's got the chick with the big tits. Part 4, the girl on the lake nude too. I forget the girl's name that's in the lake. She was the one that was in Weird Science. I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I forget her name. That's pretty sad. She's really sweetheart. Shower scene with the dude and the chick, but I say hell no to that dude naked. Well, I don't think you really see anything about him naked, do you? I don't think you see anything but a silhouette of his butt up against the thing. Props to Bianca, the girl that she, gave the most attention to during her entrance and after the match. Yeah, I know. I read that. That little kid's mom died. She was the one that did the little dance and stuff at the beginning. I think it'll be good as far as what you want. I don't know if it's going to be like super big, like blockbuster type movie that everybody's going to like, but I think it's going to have probably everything that people like us would want in it. Plus, it's got Nicolas fucking Cage in it, man. And for those who don't think Jason runs, he just ran by right there. Why this old, where the hell is it? Why this old fart goes running after him? I don't know. If he thought it was one of the counselors running through there, why wouldn't he just wait and go back to the camp later? I like to win the outfit Nick Cage wears in Dracula from playing the game. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know if he's my favorite of all time, but he's damn up there. He's in some pretty classic movies as far as movies that I like. You have to admit, he's one of those actors that reinvents himself like over and over and over again. He's in one of my favorite movies. It's kind of cheesy. Trapped in Paradise. You guys ever see that Nicolas Cage movie? Yeah, I didn't know about that girl's mom. I didn't read it the day of. I read it the day after, where they were saying that her mom died, and she still wanted to do that because of how much effort she had put into it, and her mom would be proud of her. He takes chances. He definitely does that, dude. And he don't really give a shit what anybody thinks of him. I was listening to a YouTube video where it was talking about him. Isn't his real name Nicholas Coppola? Because he's in the Coppola family. And they said that he said he couldn't get any respect with his last name. And he just got tired of everybody would see his name and thought that they knew about him when they really didn't. So he went ahead and said, I want to be my own man. So he changed his name to Nick Cage so he wouldn't be associated with anybody. I don't really want to win the pinball machine. Doesn't even look like Dracula. Well, dude, win it and sell it. I've done that plenty of times with stuff I've won. Just sell shit. Yeah, with Dana. What the hell? I keep hitting the wrong button. Yeah, with Dana Carvey and John Lovitz. That's a really good, funny comedy. I think I put that on my list of holiday movies I like, right up there with Die Hard. No, it's also got how you pronounce her name, Mick. Is that how you pronounce it? From Twin Peaks. I used to have a crush on her, man, and she still looks fucking good in Riverdale. Well, but it's different. I mean, if you invest your time in something, I used to go to the WWE shows and buy the DVDs, and I wouldn't say I support them as much as I used to. I bought as many toys as I used to. Obviously, I've kind of chillaxed on that because now that I'm more into physical media. But hey, man, if you invest your time and money in something or whatever, it gets boring to you. I mean, you're gonna want to speak up about it. He changed his name so he couldn't piggyback on it. Yeah, but I don't think he wanted to. Is the point? Like, what? Best crop top in the movie is the one she's got on right now. Oh, Jesus. Top 3 Nick Cage movies? Oh, no. I'd have to think about that one. He's done so many. Cody remembers buying all the Best Buy WWE exclusive Blu-rays. Yes, so do I. I've got all those. I've got the Blockbuster exclusive DVDs too of their pay-per-views, where it would come with that a bonus disc that would have like the pre-show match, or I forget something on it. So each one would have an extra disc. If I did win, it'd be a collector's item. I would have to wait, see how much it'd be worth. Wait till it gets more valuable, and was bummed only DVDs left at Dollar Tree. Yeah, each mine only had a few Blu-rays. I still can't get confirmation. There's people in that Facebook group, the Dollar Tree Finds, that I'm in, that says that the managers are not being told that they're getting rid of movies. They're being told that they got to get rid of all that old stock because the stuff keeps piling up. So I'm gonna hopefully we'll see them eventually, get some more stock in, and maybe it'll just be more random and it won't be stacking up because they were just buying so many at once. Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas is good. It is sad, but it's still good. You had I still got all my WWE DVDs. Like I think there's only one here comes the one nude scene, so we need to be paying attention here. Miss Crop Chop goes down. Why do they always choose to go down at night? She's already cold, if you know what I mean. So she decides, even though I'm hearing some weird noises behind me, and I don't know whether it's the dog or the guy, they interrupt us with them. I hate people that back in the parking spots. Not here though, but like at Walmart. You ever get in a Walmart parking lot and you see a couple spots and you go and you get behind somebody and then they go to try to park? If you know how to park backing up, you can go ahead and do it. That's fine. But if you don't, well, here you go. That's some nice side boob. She got to untie everything first. Yeah, shh. There's titties. And if you look close, we have bush. We have bush. She needed to lay out totally nude, get rid of all those lines. But who the fuck swims at night? But what I was saying is, so I go to Walmart the other day and I got to wait for the person to back into the spot, go forward, back up, go forward, back up 3 times because they can't get straight. Don't fucking back into your spot if that's all you're going to do until you learn how to do it. Man, that's some random cageness right there. National Treasure's good. Ghost Rider's pretty good. I don't really like the second one. Drive Angry. I haven't seen that in ages. Is that one with Amber Heard in it? Matchstick Man, Bad Lieutenant, and either Face Off or 8mm. Matchstick Man's pretty good. Bad Lieutenant? I didn't really like that one. Face Off is probably in my top 3 just because of how cheesy fun it is. Here she comes out of the water. I like 8mm too. That's pretty good. This is when the dude grabs her clothes. I don't know that Pig was hot garbage, but it wasn't great. Mandy's good. That's just batshit crazy. Uh-oh, she's cold. She's like, I don't care if anybody sees my big 80s bush, but I'm going to cover up these nipples. Mandy is weird, and so is I like Willy's Wonderland, but I don't know. That's in my top 3. That guy in the hat I thought was John Travolta. You what? Jive Ranger is good, but is that the one with Amanda Heard in it? If you guys haven't listened, I used to be bothered by the scene coming up, but Peter Anthony explained a lot of it to me. He's like a uber Friday the 13th fan, so I'm glad that I found him to tell me about some of these parts of these movies. She was a hot woman, the chick on Friday. Yep, she showed ass and bush. Yeah, she showed it all. She's good. They must have paid her just by the flash though, because she didn't like keep it all on screen for very long. Yeah, that is crazy, Nick Cage. Bianca. Yeah, we just talked about that earlier. Bianca is past boring. You mean Bush? Doug doesn't like Bush, everybody. Remember that. Doug doesn't like Bush. But in the 80s, that was like some serious nudity when you showed Bush, man. Yeah, I love Mandy. That's not for everybody though. And it's got serious male nudity in it. I see somebody's comment. Give me a second. I want to talk about this kill here. The guy's hanging upside down, like basically been strung up in a tree from a trap. Waiting for her to go get something to cut him down. So I always used to be bothered that he's using the wrong side of the blade. Now, I used to figure that was where when mounted the blood tube, it was in the wrong spot. Or if however they did his neck. Well, Peter Anthony told me that kind of machete that he was told back in the day was sharp on both sides. So that you could use whether you were swinging it forward or backwards. Or if you were left-handed, right-handed. That it didn't matter. It was sharp on both sides, and I wouldn't have guessed that. Willy's is good for the fact that he never talked. Yeah, that's just a crazy ass concept. That's why I like it. She's got an amazing scream right there. Derek Mears and Kane Hodder are my favorite Jasons. They play the role well. Yeah, I like both of them too. Con Air is probably in my top 3. I love Con Air. Lord of War. Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, I like Con Air just because it's that crazy, 90s type action flick. His name was Bill Randolph, but he did look like John Travolta. Yeah. I'm 11 minutes behind because I had to do the dishes. We're at where are we at? I can't see the small print on. We're at 52 minutes and 22 seconds is where I'm at out of an hour and 26 minutes. I appreciate you coming by and watching it with us. I haven't seen your name in a couple weeks. So what you been up to? What's been going on? I don't like hair getting in my mouth when I'm... I need to look at Doug's comments before I start reading them out loud. Lord of War is great also. Jared Leto is really good in it. Yeah, I like him. I'm not a huge Jared Leto fan, but I do think he's good in that one. Let me look up Nick Cage. I'll tell you some of them. It's just so many movies, man, that he's good in. Even his bad movies, because of him, are good. Like, to some extent. What about can you stand the Wicker Man? That's producer actor. I forgot he had a bit part in Fast Time at Ridgemont High. I'm not a huge fan of Valley Girl. I'm not gonna name them all. I'm gonna just skip through. Peggy Sue got married and raised in Arizona. Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds. I liked. I think I liked it because I had already seen the original Gone in 60 Seconds a bunch of times because that's one of my dad's big into like those old movies, car racing, chasing, that kind of stuff, and I'd seen it so many times. I still got to clean my place, just no ambition. Come on, man, you got to get psyched up. And no bush, yeah. So this is a no bush zone. Vampire's Kiss is pretty good. I'm just skipping through here. Honeymoon in Vegas is good. Here's a movie that nobody ever talks about. You guys ever seen Amos and Andrew? I used to think that was pretty good. I used to watch that a lot on like HBO Cinemax. It Could Happen to You with Bridget Fonda, and then Trapped in Paradise. I think it might be in my top 3. The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, Snake Eyes, 8mm, Gone in 60 Seconds. All those fucking movies are good, man. Matchstick Men, National Treasure. He just had a string there for a couple years. Then you got The Wicker Man. Ghost Rider, the first one, is pretty decent. Next is not even that bad. I like that. I like National Treasure. I'm not a big fan of Bangkok Dangerous. I kind of like Knowing. Bad Lieutenant. Season of the Witch, no. Drive Angry. And this is when he starts getting into his Walmart movie. Love Wicker Man. How did he get burned? No, you don't, Jeff. Just let it fly. Have no fear. Not the bees. Yeah, that part's pretty iconic. He was flipping burgers on Fast Time at Ridgemont High. Yeah, he was known as Nicholas Coppola in that one. Still need to see The Wicker Man. No, you don't. Watch the original. You can't hate on some of his direct-to-video stuff. He was paying back his taxes. The Rock, haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, that was one of the movies of Rock that was forever. Like, I had the Criterion Collection DVD, and that was one of my go-to movies for a while. I know it's the same. Well, what's John Cusack's excuse? What's Bruce Willis's excuse? I mean, all them doing the Walmart stuff. But dude, remember that video I did where I found all those Nicolas Cage movies in the Walmart bin? Bought them off $5. Like Frozen Ground with Cusack is not bad. Joe, Rage. All right, Left Behind is not good. Dying of the Light, Pay the Ghost, The Trust, Dog Eat Dog. Some of those are not good. USS Indianapolis. The only reason I bought that one was because that's the famous story that was told in Jaws. Inconceivable. Hey, Mom and Dad is not that bad. And I had a running joke, and I couldn't find it in my when I was doing my Dollar Tree funny video of the Humanity Bureau. Every time I went into the Dollar Tree, the Humanity Bureau was like filling up the shelves there at one time. So then he kind of did like a little reboot where he was out for a little while, and then people started noticing him again. Like Mandy. Looking Glass is a good movie. I don't know if you've seen that. A Score to Sell. Color Out of Space, pretty good. Then I never saw. I never saw. I know I buffered there for a second. Sorry. Primal. I'm skipping some. Prisoners of Ghostland. I really wanted to like, and I liked the cover, and I liked the steelbook, but I ended up not liking the movie. Willy's Wonderland. Pig. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is good. And did you see that new Western Did anybody see that new Western that just came out of his, The Old Way? Man, you saw Mom and Dad in theaters? You are a Nick Cage fan. World Trade Center was good. Had Doug from 50 First Dates. I believe his name is Sean Austin. Yeah, I skipped over that one. I mean, I only named like 2/3 of his movies. It was a lot more. The original Wicker Man has some chick with crazy 70s bush in it, right? Like a Clockwork Orange, so much full frontal female nudity. Yep. Clockwork Orange is weird as fuck. This chick right here that's running around in her fucking panties is cool. Every woman had like low cut granny panty style, those stuff back then. It covered everything. Maybe it was because they had so much bush, they had to keep it in. Nicolas Cage destroying a pool table while singing the Hokey Pokey was absolutely gold. Yeah, that's true. Dude was going to get lucky and Jason cock blocked him. Yep. He got his nuts blew off in that and you didn't like it. Get to see her bending over in her little panties in the car. Why is she, if it's chilly outside, why are you putting a full thick sweater on? But then you're going to just go outside with no fucking pants on whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense at all. Starting to rain. Got a storm a brewing. Yeah, I loved Unbearable Weight. I didn't see it in the theater. I was just waiting for that damn thing to come on the video, so I was so glad when it came out. And to go with that quote that was on my little what do you call it? Siskel and Ebert intro, where they were like, yeah, this one they go after everybody, not just the females. You can't even be a dude in a handicap in a wheelchair. Jason does not give a fuck. In the face, like in from the Hangover. I always think I'm going to get struck by lightning. He and cock block him. They just finished. Jason's like, I smell sex. Somebody just fucked. I'm coming in. I got to kill them. He like knows exactly when they're doing it. He should wear that fucking mask right there instead of that sack on his head. She pours some female cologne in her vag. She wears those granny panties, and then potato sack Jason stabs her. The wheelchair guy was going to have some fun with that chick. I know. Jason should be like, all right, dude, you're in a wheelchair. You're going to get laid. I'm going to let you at least get laid first, like these two here. Oh, you finally caught up. That's cool. So, collecting hobbies and Maxim, what's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? Oh, he put it in. All the way in. Not just the tip. What was I watching then? Oh, Terrifier 2. Well, that boy and girl in the car, and they're talking about having sex, and he goes take a leak, and then on the window art writes just the tip, and then he goes and cuts the guy's pecker off. That's what she said. How do you like that little bumper I created from Family Guy where every time I'm getting ready to say something and it says, that's what she says. That's what she said. Oh, Brian goes, if you say that's what she said one more time. What other movies did Amy Steele do? Was she in what the fuck was that name? Was she in I can't think of the name of the movie. She wasn't in April Fool's Day, was she? Mark, I've got my vagina perfume on for you, Mark. Who wants perfume down there? Do women really put perfume down there? Your favorite is the original? Really? That's kind of a little slow burn for me now. It's like, well, more like a whodunit. Like I said, I think my favorite is 6. That scene with the wheelchair reminded me of The Exorcist. Yeah, those steps. I hear there were 2 dudes playing the Jason character. I think one of them got injured on set or something. I don't know. But the hottest chicks are in the remake. Yeah, that's true. I love this scene right here where he raises up. He had a sack on his head. He didn't even really need to cover his head up. He could have just like leaned down with one eye shut. I always thought that was cool. He's like, you put perfume on your vagina. You were getting ready to have sex, weren't you? How about you? On Friday the 13th, part 2. I don't know. I didn't hear that. That was a weak ass kill, man. You're like, they put like a little bit of blood like right there on her lip. So she got like stabbed in the gut, I guess. Man, you dudes, man, go see a lot of movies in the theaters. I buy too many movies and I've got too much work to do at work. You know, or somebody was talking about this live stream. I love doing this live stream, man. It keeps my mind occupied on something other than fucking work all the time. Strippers do. Do they? I've never been that close to their crotches to smell the perfume. Never been to a strip club. What the fuck, dude? Come on now. I live in Virginia, in the Bible Belt, so there's not a lot around me. There's a really bad one. I'll tell you a funny story if you want to hear one. So when years ago, I went with somebody, and we went to one about an hour away, and it was one of the guys that was with us that didn't want to go do anything in the private room or do anything. So we came out of the room and we saw the guy sitting down there talking to one of the strippers, and I guess he had bought her a drink. She was on break or whatever. And we're on the way home, and he was like, yeah, it was pretty sad, man. She was telling me her story. She's pregnant and still having to strip or whatever. I'm like, dude, not only did you find out that she was pregnant, we were sitting there watching her strip or whatever. And it was just kind of weird knowing that a pregnant woman was up there still having to strip to make money up to that point. But there's a couple good ones down in North Carolina. There were 2 Jason actors in part 2. Yeah, I think I remember reading that in that book, in that history of Friday the 13th, but I don't remember. Steve Dash was one of the Jasons in this movie, and he died a few years ago. Yeah, I do remember reading that. Steve Dash, one of the Jasons in the movie, he died. What was the other? Who else played Jason in this one? Who played him most as the sackhead, and who shows up at the end? Because that end being a dream isn't really Jason. She's like, but I didn't put perfume on my vagina. I didn't smoke any pot, and Paul and I haven't had any sex yet. Or did they? I don't remember. The first Friday I saw was part 5. That girl, the last name Voorhees with the huge boobs, made me a fan for life to watch all those movies. Yeah, I know. I remember watching that. I just don't like it because it's not really Jason. But yeah, I think her name is Pamela Voorhees. She made that movie 13 Fanboy, and she's a sweetheart online. I haven't talked to her directly, but I've watched her, chit chat back and forth, and but that movie part 5 is more like a damn Skinamax porno, softcore porn with Jason thrown into it. Yeah, the Friday remake was good and some hot chicks. Every time you guys say that, it reminds me of that when I watched that Cannonball Run. When I watched Cannonball Run 1 and 2. The funny part about it is, when every time they show that Lamborghini or whatever, and he's like, "It's a Lamborghini and it's got 2 great looking chicks in it." Every time you guys say chicks, that's what makes I think of that. I thought about it, but it seems like I always had a girlfriend, so I wanted to be faithful. I was married and I got the blessing from my wife. Because my wife trusts me, dude. It's a thing to build up trust in a relationship with your spouse to where they know that they don't have to worry about that shit. So I've always been blessed that my wife and I we know we can trust each other. I mean, it's just nudity. It's just plus each time I've went, it's been with like it's part of somebody's bachelor party or something. So I used to attend them clubs, but haven't been to one more than a year. It's too expensive. Yeah, shit. You can't afford to. You wouldn't be able to afford to date now. Um, it's expensive enough having a family, much less. Um, I thought I was saving money when I got the work vehicle because I didn't have to buy gas or anything anymore. But then when I sold my junker car and put my son on my newer car, the damn insurance doubled. You can't have a kid under 25 and have them on insurance without it costing you an arm and a leg. And these fruit flies in my apartment are annoying as fuck. Like, stay in the bathroom or kitchen, stop flying on me. My phone screen every time I smack it off. Get you a little container, like a short something. Fill it with 2/3 water, and then put some Dawn dishwashing liquid. Don't mix it up. Like, pour it on the top and let it float on there. And then sometimes if you put it in the kitchen, that'll attract those little fruit fly things. It works for me in the South. Oh, I was trying. I ramble so much on these fucking streams. I was trying to tell you guys earlier. I've liked finding some of those Siskel and Ebert clips when I throw into these intros on here. That I almost think that I might start a review series where I take an old movie and like I listen to their review and I take clips of it and see, do I agree with Siskel and Ebert, or are they too harsh about the movie? What do you guys think about that? Do you think that would be a good review series? Do you think people would watch it? Because movie reviews are one of the things that people don't watch much on my channel. So Jason Voorhees is the toughest hockey player who's ever played hockey. That's true. Somebody was saying that as a funny parody movie, they should have had Jason kill a real hockey player, take his mask, and when he's in the middle of taking it, his drunk buddies come over and pull him into their group, and then they end up putting him on the team, and he ends up being the number 1 goalie in the history of local hockey. Wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want my girl seeing a dude naked, and they wouldn't want me to see another girl, so it was a mutual thing. Back when he was popular, all my wife did was talk about the fucking Rock and half naked wrestlers we would watch on television. So it is what it is. The funny thing about it is a lot of women don't like seeing naked dudes is not the same as seeing naked women. As far as I think culturally, we've built that up. The whole thing about nudity in America is totally different. We're kind of prudes compared to other countries. They're so free with nudity. They're overseas. They're more worried about violence. Like they would rather cut a movie for violence than nudity. They don't give a shit about nudity because that's natural. It's like we're backwards in America. Tom Savini didn't return to do the special effects on this Friday one. I don't know if he liked the plot. Yeah, I don't know. I think he was doing something else at the time. He didn't come back to 4, right? He was in the final Friday. It's Bizarro Supergirl. Hey, guys. All right, Doug, behave. Talking about Bush and such. What's going on? Appreciate you stopping by. I don't know how many minutes are we into Friday the 13th, part 2, if you want to know what we're watching, but you don't have to talk about that if you don't want to. We can talk about anything. I've only got 49 subscribers this month. We need to boost that up, man. We need to get this thing rolling quicker. One time I had a chance to get a lap dance at a bar and her showing her tits to me on my birthday, but had my ex at the time. Your ex wouldn't let you see some girl boobs on your birthday? What kind of bullshit is that? I was watching this with somebody one time. Jenny's under the bed, right? Is this when she gets so scared she pisses? And they tried to convince me that it was the cat or whoever was under the bed and took the piss and not her. He's pretty fucking smart to stand up on that chair and come down like that. Oh, yeah, I think he was doing the burning special effects. Yeah, I think he was busy. Chainsaw. I always thought that was cool because if you looked, Jason actually looked frightened of that chainsaw. Like he was like, oh, shit. And she's got some blood splattered on her. So did she cut him with the chainsaw? I don't remember. That was one of the reasons I liked the Friday the 13th movies is if you look back at it, man, they had some really strong final girls. And they fought the fuck back against Jason. So it made it seem a little more realistic. Doug wants to know, do you mind us talking dirty in here? I don't care. You know my channel, if you've watched my videos, I'm all about, I don't believe in censorship. I believe in the First Amendment. I believe anybody can say, but I don't want to be rude. I'm not rude to people. So if anybody, I've actually had one time my wife was telling me something about did I have to cuss as much when I was telling us, I was pissed off about something. I was cursing. So I try to curb it. I try not to curse as much as I used to. Plus, I'm in a different position at work now, so I have to curb what I'm thinking. I have to always worry about being the adult in the room now. Amy Steele, I wonder if she retired from acting. Most of these actors only did these movies and never did anything again. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, man. She was in a couple movies after this, at least one I know of. But it's almost like they were in Friday the 13th and was like, hey, man, I must have ruined my career. She was in April Fool's Day. She was in Guiding Light. She's got a bit part in the fan film Jason Rising. I don't think she's in it. I think she's on the phone talking to one of the other original characters. She was in an episode of Jag in 2000. She was in an episode of Commission Diagnosis Murder. She was in an episode of Home Improvement. She was in Space Rangers, a series, Perry Mason. So she did a lot of TV stuff. Look, she's in an episode of Quantum Leap. I remember this movie. Do you remember this? You guys remember this movie, Walk Like a Man, with Howie Mandel. It was Howie Mandel and Christopher Lloyd. She's in that. And Colleen Camp. You guys remember Colleen Camp? Oh yeah, that's correct. April Fool's Day. And we can't assume by names on YouTube that they're all male and female. That's true. I don't care. I got brothers. I've heard everything. We try not to be too offensive around here. We do. We have our limits, right, Doug? I was talking about Amy Steele. I like how you do one of those 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon when you start looking at people and you see other things. Like I was saying, in that movie Walk Like a Man, it's got Colleen Camp in it. Do you guys remember her? She was fucking hot back in the day when she first started. And she was in some good movies. What was the one I was thinking about the other day? It was one of those horror movies that I got. She was in Smoking the Man at 3. That's not the one I was thinking about. Shit, I can't think of the movie. Oh, Death Game. That was that movie I unboxed. I'd watched it. Death Game with Sandra Locke. She is hot fucking stuff in that movie. Howie Mandel, I think so. Yeah, Howie Mandel and Christopher Lloyd. She's in that movie, it says. Unless his titties make the world go around. They do. Oh, but Colleen Camp was the maid in Clue. You guys remember that? Did anybody see that movie Amsterdam with Christian Bale? I was wondering if it was any good. Sackhead Jason just got whacked in the head. I mean, in the shoulder. Sorry, I mean head. By Jenny. Why she would think that would kill him, I don't know. We are outnumbered by tits. You are, because, well, you got tits too, bro. They're just maybe not as big as mine. If you're a heavy guy like me, you got man tits. Or man boobs, as they call them. Everybody's got boobs. Women's just bigger and actually are functional. No, but I thought he was good in Pale Blue Eyes. Pale Blue Eye. Here's my question with this movie. So they get out here. He's helping her. Jason's in his old shack. So at what point, if everybody says the ending of this is a dream, at what point of it does that part start? I've always wondered, like, where is this dream start? Is it here? My favorite Friday the 13th movie is part 6, Jason Lives. I think I've said it before. I've got a video out there where I rank the Friday the 13th movies. You guys should check that out if you haven't. I appreciate if you watch some of my other stuff. But yeah, I liked 6. It was the first one I saw in theaters. It was I liked the concept, like kind of like it was a Universal monster concept where they brought him back to life with lightning. It's actually in a summer camp. There's kids at the camp. So it actually played a lot into things. So like where there, everybody says that this ending is not, like I said, is a dream. So where did the dream start? 69, dude. Her question is for everybody. What's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? Doug says the remake because it's got titties in it. And a lot of them. Yeah, but Cody, you probably talked to a bunch of people about horror movies or whatever. Where does everybody consider the true ending of Friday the 13th Part 2 to be? Like, where did it And I'll tell you why I'm asking once we get to the end here. So everybody knows my favorite is part 6. And then it's probably 4. I don't know, 2 or 7. Yeah, well, it's because it's a newer movie. I love the opening for the remake. Like right there. So Jason comes through the window. He's got full hair on one side. He's got a beard. He was a grown man, as the old guy said in Ricky Bobby. But that's not the way Jason looks. Because if you watch the beginning of part 3, which is supposed to be right after this one, like the same night, he's wandering through the backyard through those sheets, and you see him without his mask, and he looks just like he does at the end of the movie. So he never looked that way with the hair and the beard. And supposedly that's a dream. But where does the dream start? Was it when he shut that door and then they went, why didn't they call the police and the ambulance and everything then? I don't understand that. Like the ending is fucked up because then they show him here. Like in the beginning of part 3, you see him laying on the ground with the sack still on his head, limping away. So you know that none of that shit happened coming through the window. I don't know. It just pisses me off. Technically, there are more boobs. 60% of the population is female. That's true. Yeah, I've made that mistake a couple times, thinking that people were either males or females, and they weren't. So that's the end of part 2. We are out on Tubi, so it's not going to autoplay anything. So I got the actual part 2 is a good entry in the series. It's got most of the tropes. I really love the music. I think the end is kind of weak sauce. I wish the ending was better. But if anybody can chime in, I need to read more of that book again. I read the book before, and it's been so long since I read it. I don't remember. My old brain is so full of other shit that I can't remember all that stuff. It's only 11:37. I can hang out a few more minutes if you guys want to talk. That was a short movie. Yeah, it's only an hour and a half, and then we started a few minutes late. So the movie next week is going to be Carousel, and it's on Tubi. So I don't have Tubi on my work phone, so I got it on my junk here. Let's see. Let's look up how long Carousel is. I don't even think it's an hour and a half. It is an hour and 8 minutes. How long is the second one? It's an hour and 17 minutes. I might find something else really short, like a short film or something we can watch to go after that, because that's unless we want to watch both of them. We can watch both of them. You want? It doesn't matter. We don't have a time limit. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Part 3 ends the same time, like right after. 1, 2, and 3 are supposed to be like on the same weekend or whatever you want to call it. So when C3 bites at the beginning, he's totally bald and looks mongoloid looking, but he looks just like he does at the end. So he never looked like the guy that busted through the window with the beard and the long hair. So what part of that ending is a dream? Like, where did the dream sequence start? Then obviously Jenny wakes up And then the whole time she's like, "Where's Paul?" So where the fuck is Paul at? So if Paul carried her across that water and up into the cabin, like where's Paul at? I just don't like the ending. Is confusing. 128 minutes. You mean an hour and 28 minutes? 128 minutes would be 2 hours and 8 minutes. You talking about for that bikini thing? Dude, I don't want to watch a bikini movie that's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. We're watching Carousel for sure next week. Even if it's the drizzling shits, we're watching it. I'll find something special to watch with it. You can probably watch part 3 this week. Yeah, I always find myself when we watch one of these watch alongs of picking something that goes along with it, or like it makes me want to watch like the next part or something like that. We'll figure it out, man. It's not the end of the world if it's only an hour and 8 minutes. I'm gonna find something else we can play afterwards, some short film. In worst case, we'll watch one of the short films that I've been wanting to us to talk about from one of the guys that we that I cover on the channel. Some of his stuff's only like 40 minutes or so. But either way. So, Doug, if you go see Renfield during the week, you need to shoot me a message. Let me know if it's any good, because I'm potentially going to go this weekend, but I don't know yet. Bizarre is one of my subscribers. She's 100% female. Why do you say that? Why do you say she's 100% female? Can you do a search for people's I'm really bad at and not watching a ton of YouTube myself now that I've been recording a lot of content. Because that takes a lot of my free time up. Is it next? Well, what was it you were going to see this week? Super Mario Brothers? Well, that's what I meant. I thought you were going to see Renfield later this week. Part 2 is 5 years after part 1. Yeah, I remember they said that, and now that you said that in the bar, right? Like when Jenny is sitting there and they're talking, and she goes, well, it's been 5 years since all that happened. And they're on the other side of the lake. But is it 2, 3, and 4 that they are the ones that all happened in the same night, right? It's the timeline is fucked up because part 2 really only came out in theaters like a year after part 1, right? So they screwed the timeline up from the very beginning, because Friday the 13th, the first one was in 1980, and the second one's in 1981, and the third one's in 82, and then they skip a year and it goes to 84. But it's supposedly 5 years later in the second one, and then 2, 3, and 4 happen on the same night. It's Carousel like this. It's a cheesy horror movie that Cody has been talking about a lot on the channel, and I watched a few minutes of it one night after one of our live streams, and I started laughing. And one of you guys, I think it was Scott, who's not here tonight, said that one of my comments was so funny or whatever, we ought to watch it. So for once, I usually don't push the issue with one, but I think I want to watch that one just to have something funny to watch. Warrington Gillette is adjacent at the end, seeing Steve Dash's sack hit Jason. Yeah, Warrington Gillette, I remember hearing that name now. I would have never remembered that. He's got such a weird... I didn't know you were still on here, man. Hey, you didn't chime in much. You must have watched a lot of the movies. Somebody was asking me on one of my Dollar Tree movies, did the digital codes work? Do you guys have any luck? I'd say a majority of the time, maybe 2 out of every 3, the digital code still works, even though it's been old. But I did have one here recently that the digital code didn't work. And has any of you guys been in the Dollar Tree and ask any of the managers there if they're going to stop carrying movies? Because none of the people in my area know anything. So, Doug, what movie was it you were talking about going to see this week? And if anybody can chime in about the end of this damn movie and let me know where the damn dream was supposed to start, I'd like to know. She's my friend, lives in California like I do. Met her at SDCC a few years ago. Oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Super Mario Brothers. Okay. Well, I'm not going to see that. I'll wait for streaming for that one. That was the one that's basically, is it, I can't remember which way around. Is it the moviegoers love it and the critics think it's shit, or is it the other way around? I think that's the way it is. Oh, so I was laughing. I did those. What do you mean I missed it? And just so you know, it's Renfield without the D in the middle. I recognized when I was watching the trailer for Renfield, the girl that's in there, the Asian girl. I recognized her from something, and now I can't remember what it was that I saw her in. Shit. Do you guys remember? Has she been in anything good? Seems like her face seemed awful familiar, but I couldn't remember what it was. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe she isn't. She was in Ocean's 8. I'm trying to see movies that I might have noticed. I don't know. She did a voice on Regular Show. That was used to be one of my favorite shows. Did anybody ever watch Regular Show? Oh yeah, I couldn't remember which one you were talking about. So when you go see that on Wednesday, then drop me a message on Facebook Messenger. Let me know whether it was any good or not. So, oh well, I think I'm getting ready to get off here, guys. Unless you guys have anything particular you want to talk about. I did when I went into that Dollar Tree and did that video that I dropped. I went to a couple more stores, so I got another video I'll be posting. Cody, I don't think you're still on here. It's at 92%. Hey Cody, I was able to make a copy of that disc you sent. And I actually, hold on a second. Here's yours. I didn't copy the label. That label is pretty fucking cheesy. But so I just made mine, but here's mine. So I copied the cover artwork at work, and then I burned myself 2 copies in case they didn't work. Let me just say there was no need for Things 2 to be on a Blu-ray disc. That is like the worst VHS transfer I've ever seen. I know it'll be cool just to have them in the set though. So you're the man for letting me borrow that, and I'll get it back out to you in the mail this week. So I appreciate it. So yeah, Things is one of those David Sterling sets that he doesn't have the right to Things 2 anymore, so he couldn't sell me a copy of that. And Cody had gotten a copy of them a while back, and they're manufactured on demand burn disc anyway. So he was awesome and sent me a copy of that. So now my Things collection is complete. I don't think I opened the Things box set. on a video. I should do that. The cover artwork on the other ones are pretty amazing. Skull Crusher said, "Have a good night." Yeah, appreciate you coming by. You too, Doug. You're going to bed early tonight. No, I don't know that I'm going to do that. I got a couple of videos I need to edit. I might, but I'd start them up and then have them render overnight. So yeah, Cody is the man for letting me borrow that. I really appreciate it. If nothing else, that is one of the great things that I've accomplished with this channel is I've connected with a bunch of you guys, and whether it be chatting about movies or just chatting about bullshit on the side, or in that case, Cody trusted me by loaning me that movie. That's why I always say I love you guys for coming by, checking out the channel. You rule. Hopefully one day we'll be a lot bigger, but I will remember if I am the ones that have supported me. Hey, you said collecting hobbies. You said you had a YouTube channel. What kind of videos do you do on your channel? Am I a subscriber to your channel? I feel bad if I'm not. That sucks. I should be. Any of you guys, if you tell me you have a channel, I always try to support you guys too. What's your channel name? Is it the same as your name you're using here? Or do you use something different? I'll check it out if it's the same name. You can let me know. It is. You got 12 videos. Well, now you got an extra subscriber. I think I subscribed to you back in the day, but you told me you weren't making any videos. The other guy named Doug that used to be on here a lot, he's got a bunch of stuff he's going through. He what's your channel name? Is it Dougie Fresh? I'll subscribe to all you guys if I haven't. Now you had no, I think I went to do it and then you and I were chatting that night and I got distracted. So now yeah, you got your 24th subscriber. You have about 20 videos. Yeah, I think I remember you forwarded me a link to one, and that was when I watched one of your videos. But I subscribe to Collecting Hobbies Maximum too. So, oops. So yeah, if any of you guys ever, yeah, Cody's what is the name of the channel? I don't want to get it wrong. I know that the show that I usually watch of yours is Shockaholics. Schlockaholics. Is that the name of your channel? Yeah. I hop on there. They watch some B movie cheese that how long have you guys been doing that, Cody? Yeah, Schlockaholics. And I keep telling Cody one day I'm going to get him on here and he can do a, hey, Cody, we need to pick a movie or one of those box sets or something from Sterling or one of the movies. And then instead of just not on the live stream here, you can hop over. Maybe I'll do an extra live stream one week and you can come on my channel and we can talk about one of them. We need to pick one that's actually pretty good though. So if we're going to recommend it for somebody to watch, but how long have you guys been doing that? Good friends discussing bad movies. Less than a year. That's cool. You got a bunch of channels. What do you got? A bunch of channels. What are you doing on there? I was going to do Monster Steel Figure Prize from General Mills, but was let down by them. Plus, want my apartment cleaned first. You always talking about cleaning your apartment. Yeah, that would be a blast. Yeah, you can chat. We don't have to do it anytime soon, but one day when we're not busy, we'll pick one of these movies or a set or something, and we'll go on there and talk about them. You guys are a lot better at talking about movies than I am. I just ramble about shit. So, but I still like coming on here doing this. This is one of my highlights of the week. I love coming on here talking to you guys. But it would be nice to have somebody to banter back and forth with. Cody's funny on some of those streams. But yeah, I've been with you guys have weird times you're on there too. 2 times I've dropped in is because I get home and I'm trying to chillax after work and I'm eating some dinner and then you guys have been on and then I just listen in on some of the stuff. I ordered that movie you guys been talking about. I know you said it got delayed. That Night of the Axe. I ordered that, but he gave me the YouTube link to be able to watch it. I ordered that because of you guys talking about it. Yeah. I don't trust Sterling as far as I can throw him. Thank you. Oh, you whatever, man. You appreciate it. You appreciate you supporting me. I didn't think at this point, I've told you guys, I had no thought whether I would continue doing this YouTube stuff. I just know I sit around talking about fucking movies all the time. It's what I love. I love watching movies, and I'm roasting my ass off, but I don't want to turn off the heat because of what that was what we were talking about. Like one day it was 80 here in Virginia, and I needed to I turned the air conditioner on, and then the next morning got up and my ass was freezing because I had turned the heat off and it was cold. I used to forget my password a lot and then remember some of them. I often worry about that. I try to back up a lot of my videos because one of the guys that I was on his live stream did something where he pissed the world off because of some off-color comment he made on Twitter. And he pissed off a bunch of people that reported him on all his social media platforms. And he got his YouTube channel canceled. So in this world of snowflakes, I'm worried one day that I'll say something and piss somebody off. But that's why I just want to kind of do this for fun and don't want to have to worry about it on being a revenue stream. It's 10:56. It's 11:56 where I'm at, bro. As Matt Riddle would say, bro. The last thing I forgot I was gonna mention. Did any of you guys buy anything for the Kino Lorber sale that's going on from now until the end of the month? They got some really good $5 Blu-ray options. There's one. I'm not going to tell you what it is. There's one particular movie in 4K that I didn't buy. So when it first came out, so I know I won't get one with a slipcover. But I've been watching on Amazon and it's too expensive. They actually had it in the sale, so it was like finally at an affordable price that I was able to buy it at. And I'm telling you, that's what you need to do. There's a ton of movies that I've got in my Amazon watch list or in my cart that I then move to save for later. And dude, like once a week, I just skim through it. If the prices are high and just randomly the price will drop. And so I've done that a couple times in the last couple weeks to where stuff like almost half price. And Cody, that damn Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, it's listed on a bunch of sites. It's coming out this week, but I haven't gotten a shipping order, a shipping notification yet. I've been active on YouTube since 2015 at least. That's cool, man. I didn't realize I've got a lot. I know a lot of my review videos are just movie hunts, so I can pump out a lot of content without. I've got 1,000 fucking videos on here now. But I'd say 2/3 of them are movie hunts and the rest of them. That's why I try to do playlists so you can weed through the shit. But we hit 2,065 subscribers today, so we're growing. Yeah, I remember you saying your Central Time. I bought a Jason Goes to Hell shirt today from Gutter Garbs. That's cool. I saw a Friday 13th Part 6 shirt on Amazon I may buy. I'm a girl. Sorry my friend stopped by. That's fine. No expectation of anybody to stay on here. I'm waiting for shipping update too. Yeah, I don't think it's coming out. I think that date that we were talking about, I think it's the 25th, I think is going to be in the real release date. When that Winnie the Pooh movie comes out, I've watched it on streaming. It was okay. I think I'm gonna hold out when the disc comes out. I'm gonna watch it again, and then I'll do a review of the actual Blu-ray when it comes out. Welcome back, Soups. Yeah, I remember. I always loved her avatar there, and that's a fucking cool name, Bizarro Supergirl. Hey, I know she wasn't on here, and I'm not gonna get into anybody's business, but we try to be like a little bit of a. I know it might sound cheesy, like a little bit of a family on here, like talking amongst friends, but I know Maddie's going through some shit right now. Uh, just you guys be thinking about her. Keep her in your thoughts. And look at here, old Gator McCluskey's on. Hey, buddy, what's going on? I appreciate your comment you made on my video. I was going to wrap it up here, but you're here. I thought if you guys don't know, when I did that box of Burt unboxing, I mentioned that there was each of the discs had like an awesome documentary on there about the behind the scenes and just the bullshit that went through on a lot of those making of the each of those movies. And the guy that made the documentary was Gator McCluskey, and then so they included his video one on each one of those discs. Well, I'd already watched a ton of his content, so I knew who he was, and I didn't even know that those videos were going to be on the disc until I got them. So it was cool when I got the discs out and started watching the special features and saw that those were on there. So congrats on getting your stuff on the disc. I know I'm new to YouTube actually as far as that kind of stuff, and I thought it was pretty amazing. I did an unboxing, and our good old buddy David Sterling, the B movie master, included me on one of his releases. So yeah, kudos to you, man. Those documentaries, you guys, if you know it, don't if you like anything about Burt Reynolds, this guy right here is the place to go to watch his content. He's got documentary style videos, but they're funny as hell, man. You should check out the German Blu-ray of Stick. That would be cool. What's special about the German Blu-ray of that of Stick? Does that have a U.S. release? I remember when Kino Lorber had one of their sales uh, last year. I ended up buying several Burt Reynolds movies, like Gator and White Lightning and stuff like that I didn't have previously. Great watch along, Jevin. Good night, buddy. Appreciate you, Rick. Rick comments on all my videos, and Rick is a big supporter of the channel, so I appreciate Rick stopping by. What's up, J Rock? Who else is here? You should make a cosplay video for YouTube. Yeah, that would be cool. I like to see that. So yeah, let me know more about that Stick Blu-ray. Why would I like that? You have over 400 shirts, mostly of horror. That's a lot of damn t-shirts, dude. That's more than me. All region has Burt's directed. Oh, cool. The director's cut. Man, I haven't watched Stick in a long time. Where can I order that from? Can you get that shit from Amazon? I'm waiting on my or is that Umbrella? Did they make it? Where can you get that from? Stick Blu-ray. Let me make myself a note. I'll check that out. I see on Amazon they got just a regular edition. I remember that. It's got Candace Bergen and Charles Grodin in it. Yeah, I remember that now. Bizarro Supergirl says, kind of shy. LOL. Don't want rude comments. People on here can be savages. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to do. I've already told that story. If you guys aren't familiar, I didn't want to do YouTube back in the day. I'm an older guy, but I'm from the South, and I spent a third of my life being made fun of because of my accent. That's all I fucking heard in college. And then as I got into where I work and started moving up in the ranks, started realizing that shit didn't matter, and that it doesn't matter what you do in life. There's always going to be people that themselves are have their, I don't know what's a good way to put it, to build themselves up. They try to tear other people down. That's what I always say. And so you're going to have that no matter what, whether you're doing YouTube or whether you're trying to do anything in life. Social media fucking sucks. It can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. You just got to ignore all the negative buzz and do what just makes you happy, man, because we're only around on this rock for a short period of time. So don't fucking worry about it, what other people say. That's why I went ahead and just started doing YouTube. I should have actually started doing YouTube a year before I did. And I listened to somebody who told me that it would be stupid to not to do it. So Um, not on this channel. Exactly. You were eating? What were you eating? Your costumes are great. You can turn off comments, but it's cool. Not going to try to make you do anything if you aren't feeling it. You should do it. You don't hear an accent really from me? Dude, I had the worst thick fucking southern accent in the history of the universe. You're a sweetheart. But I know she's not talking about me. Must be talking about you collecting. My problem is I don't get enough things in the mail. If you ever wanted to start your channel back up and you want to come over here and do a video with me, you could promote it. We could do that. Oops, sorry. I kicked it. But yeah. So worst case, hey man, anybody that watches this video, go out there and support Gator McCluskey. He is the fucking Burt Reynolds master. No, I love all you guys coming by. So the cool thing about these streams is sometimes I have to go back on my way to work on Mondays and listen to some of it again. Is you guys make recommendations of movies and talk about this stuff, and I right now, being a small YouTuber, I was telling Doug the other week, it's easy for me to go through the comments. If I ever get any more popular, it's gonna be really hard for me to keep up with comments. The rude people on Twitter suck too. That's why I don't have an account in there for more than 3 years. Yeah, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Was eating some wings. Man, I got an air fryer and I haven't made wings in it yet. I need to make me some good wings in there. But yeah, I used to worry too much about what people think, but I turned 50 years old and then stopped giving a fuck about all that stuff. I mean, you can't. You'll waste too much of your life and energy worrying about other people. Don't do it. Just do whatever makes you happy. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys now if I listened to everybody around me. And I appreciate what you said, Doug. Like, dude, man, I got made fun of like big time when I was in college, man. It really it's one of the things that led me to leave that college that I went to and switch to one that was closer to home. I just couldn't stand the comments people were making. It really bothered me there for a while. And I've had some rude comments here on YouTube, and literally what I do is you just block the person so that way you don't have to worry about it listening to them. I don't have any fancy equipment to have an opening or to show photos during the video, and also my thumbnails. And what? Why would your thumbnails end upside down? Dude, I can probably help you with some of that stuff. Dude, most 3/4 of what I do here is on my damn iPhone. Now that the iPhone camera is so good, I just use my iPhone to do a lot of it. When I do my movie reviews, or if I'm sitting here in the chair and I really want to make sure the sound is good, or if I did some stuff on a green screen, then I use my Canon camera that I bought for YouTube. But other than that, a lot of times I just do my iPhone. And then I got a better camera here now. I bought a Microsoft camera that we use at work for our virtual meetings, and it's so good and easy to use that I went ahead and just bought myself one. I'm straight from Microsoft next time we placed an order. Yeah, wings are good. Pork chop tastes good. All right. I think I've rambled enough. I really appreciate you guys hopping on here. Looks like sometimes the later we get, the more people show up. So, with that being said, I think I tried YouTube stream, couldn't get the audio and video to work. It's just one or the other. I think I was buffering there for a second. I just use StreamYard, and I've got the paid version now. I can hear my laptop chunking. I wonder if I got a virus scan going. I need to check that shit. I just started using StreamYard for my live streams, and it started working better. You don't have to pay for it. You can get the free version. It's going to put the StreamYard logo on there I didn't want that, so I just ended up buying the lowest tier package. And then I bought a USB camera and a USB mic, and I found StreamYard does a better job of syncing. The time that I was off sync, that Doug told me, was the one time that I was 100% on Wi-Fi. So if I stay wired, dude, I was watching Doug. I was watching a really good YouTuber the other night. He buffered a couple times. I don't know. I think some of it is StreamYard and some of it is YouTube. I don't think it's all me. My laptop is pretty good, and I got a wired connection. So if it does it one or two times during a stream, I don't give a shit anymore. I thought the Galaxy S23 Plus was going to look great, but you got to get a really good light though shining on you. Like right now, I don't have any light on overhead. I've got a umbrella type light, whatever the fuck you call those things, with a white background that I use for my videos, and I put that right in front of my laptops, and that's the only thing, like only light I've got on in the room other than my blue lights in the background. My friend does Twitch. I can do Facebook streaming on my groups. That's cool. I'm sure if you get the right lighting, it would look good. New cameras, new phones, man, those things are pretty awesome. My top 3 favorite movies of all time. I don't know if I can tell you the top 3, but you're the fucking man for number 1. Jaws is my favorite movie. I've liked it ever since I saw it. My dad snuck me into the drive-in to see it when it came out. Probably was like the year after it came out because it's a rural area. So I was probably like 5 years old and scared my ass off, had in the back seat. Jaws is number 1. The original Halloween 1978 is my second favorite movie. And I really have a hard time thinking of a third one because I rotate so many in and out of that spot. John Carpenter's The Thing is pretty high up there, so I would have to say that for right now. You probably would hate hearing this, but The Godfather is. I've always thought that they were a little overblown. They're good, but I think I will tell you this. I watched the show The Offer on Paramount Plus. That show is so good that it made me have a little more respect for The Godfather, and I went back and watched all 3 movies. And The Godfather Part 2 is fucking excellent. I love it. So it's probably, I don't know if it's in my top 3. I doubt it. It's probably close to my top 10, if not. But things in your top 5, yeah. As of right now, I might have to say The Thing. And The Offer is great. If you guys like anything about The Godfather, if you like it at all, you're doing yourself a disjustice by not seeing the show The Offer on Paramount Plus. You can buy it on physical media now if you don't want to like actually sign up for streaming. It is so good. The acting in it is so good. And even if they do, stretch the truth a little bit about the stories, it's pretty funny because the guy who Ruddy that did the production of that ended up being, I was watching fucking Cannonball Run 2 on that box of Burt set, had no clue that he produced that movie. So he went from producing The Godfather, one of the greatest movies of all time, to Cannonball Run 2. Can you believe that shit? Did you see Burt in that? In which one? In The Offer? Was he in The Offer? I don't remember that. StreamYard is the easiest to set up. If you're going to start and want a free one. Did I see Bird in that? No. What are you talking about? I'm missing something here. Wait a minute. Who's your favorite superhero? Anybody? Mine is Batman. Michael Keaton. The Longest Yard. Yeah. The Longest Yard is awesome. I love the original Longest Yard. The remake is okay. It's funny, but no, I love The Longest Yard. Yeah, I know he produced that because didn't he go from producing The Godfather and then he didn't want to produce Godfather 2 and so he went and produced The Longest Yard. Yeah, Burt Reynolds that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the character of Burt showing up in The Offer. Yeah, I like that scene. I thought that the actor they had in there did a really good job playing Burt, and that was kind of cool. So yeah, Ruddy went on to do The Longest Yard after The Godfather. I remember that. And then, but it's funny how he got connected. Is that how he got his connection with Burt Reynolds? Like later on, like, well, how did he go from that to producing for Warner Brothers? I guess, did Warner Brothers do Cannonball Run 2? How did the fuck did he do that? She said, "Thank you, Doug." And to go back, yeah, to StreamYard was the easiest for me to set up at the beginning, so I kind of go that. Mine's Christian Bale Batman. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Christian Bale's Batman. He's decent, but dude, the voice and the way he grumbles, it's on my nerves. Um, like got razor blades. I love Michael Keaton in Batman. I really liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I didn't think I liked Ben Affleck at all as Batman, and then now I'm upset to get his one uh, individual Batman movie. Um, the fight scene, the warehouse scene in Batman v Superman is one of the greatest fight scenes in superhero action movie history. My laptop is running, so it's an antivirus thing. I gotta go turn this shit off. Favorite female hero, something I might cosplay. I guess I could come up with a Batman, but that would be Batwoman or Batgirl. Female hero, you didn't say superhero, so I'm gonna go with the bride from um, Kill Bill is my favorite female hero. So yeah, I really appreciate you stopping by, Gator man. He really brought the level of coolness up a notch. Best superhero film to me was The Dark Knight. I agree with that. That's right up there, man. That's pretty damn cool. I like that Batman and that version of Joker. I think is the reason that's so high on my list. I liked the Batman, the latest when it came out, but I just don't like him as Bruce Wayne. So I'm gonna have to see more of him. Have you ever seen Fearsome Figures channel? He's the one that got me into do videos. I was weirded out at first by talking to the camera, but takes time getting used to. Nope. And he said, thanks. No, yeah, anytime, man. Your channel rules. One day, maybe I will be as good as the great Gator McCluskey. Probably Hulk superhero. To me, the version of the Hulk that's the best, and guys might disagree, was Bill Bixby's Hulk and Lou Ferrigno. To me, they got that as close to the feel of the comic book character. The sadness of that fucking David Banner is just off the charts, man. You feel for him every single episode. It like pulls your heartstrings. But hearing that music and him walking away, that's even though I know that the effects were cheesy and the Hulk himself, they had the limitations of the show. It was just amazing what they could accomplish back then with storyline wise. And he was such a great David Banner, man. I don't know, man. I just love that version of the Hulk from the 70s show. Christian Bale is hot. I'll take your word for that. Have a nice night, everyone. Yeah, see you, Dougie. The new Evil Dead movie looks sick, scared the beep out of me. Did you see it? It says scared the beep out of you. I loved it. We were talking about that earlier. I was unpopular opinion think that the Evil Dead 2013, especially the uncut version, is rising on my list, pun intended, to be almost as good, if not better. If I want an Evil Dead movie, that's almost my go-to movie now. So I love it. I think they did an amazing job. They if you strip out all the comedy in it, if you want to watch a horror movie, that's one of the ones to go to. I like Hulk, but hate She-Hulk TV show. Yeah, that She-Hulk TV show was hot garbage. It didn't even get good to the end. Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno on that TV show were cool. Yeah, Bill Bixby's amazing in that fucking role. I haven't been scared since Paranormal Activity during a movie. I don't know that I've ever been scared, but I've been uncomfortable. I bet when that girl saws her damn arm off with that electric knife in Evil Dead, man, that even made me cringe because that looks that looks so real when she does that. I see your Gremlins thing behind you. That was supposed to reboot that or make a sequel. Wonder what happened to that. I don't know. Yeah, Doug pointed that out. I found that in a toy hunt. It was priced. They wouldn't ring up, so that I made them ring it up for the regular price. That's the signature edition. That's the one that's got the card in it that's signed by Howie Mandel. I've had that happen to me twice at my local Target, where if I go by there in the mornings on my way to work, sometimes they're putting the stock out. The NECA guy will have his stuff and he's putting it out, and they don't have everything priced in the system yet. And so I got an Elvira NECA figure over here, and I grabbed it and it wouldn't scan, and I grabbed the regular one and it did. And so I went up front and made the lady price check, match the price, because it's hard to see any difference. One says signature edition, so I got that $100 figure for like the $32, and then I went back later and did the same thing. Where am I based? I live in Central Virginia, and I'm in the Bible Belt, man. I'm like down in the South. I heard the show was on HBO Max cartoon. What are we talking about? The Bride Umar, I forget her snake name was. Wasn't she Black Mamba? I remember that. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. So, yeah. Love the Bride. Love Uma Thurman in that movie. She's pretty amazing in that. Was gory. The cutting with the electric knife was sick. Yeah, that's one of the. And then the part where the car rolls over on her at the end, and she's got to pull her own arm out, and and it shows like the bend in her arm, and she rips her arm in half. That's pretty nasty stuff, man. Where are you based out of, Gator? Don't like the camera is right on the screen when watching the YouTube videos. Yeah, well, nobody wants to see my ugly mug all up close on the fucking screen anyway, so. Worst Tarantino movie? I don't know. Has he made a bad one? I don't know, man. Worst Tarantino movie. What are my choices? I don't forgot all his movies. Quentin Tarantino. All right, Reservoir Dogs good. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Damn. Hateful Eight's too long. Most people say Death Proof. I don't know, man. Worst. I like them all. That's kind of like your fucking children. You're asking like which one is your least favorite. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I love that. Kill Bill, I love those. I don't know. I like Jackie Brown. I don't think I have a least favorite, but if I had to watch one, I mean, it's really hard to watch the Hateful Eight, just because it's so long and it's not a lot of action in that. But I don't know, man. Oh, Tampa, that's cool. Yeah, I guess I like Death Proof. That is pretty low on the list, though. I mean, the only reason I like it is I'm a big Kurt Russell fan, and I think if he was in all the movies, so I would probably have to say that too. But like I said, the Hateful Eight is good, but man, it is way too fucking long. It's like almost 3 hours. That's just hard to watch. At least Death Proof is short. Yeah, I love all his movies, man. Big Black Dot. What the fuck are you talking about? Big Black Dot. Yeah, I don't know, man. I do like Death Proof though. Now, watching it like that, I did like it a lot better, and I didn't try to watch it and binge watch it. Like I watched an hour, and then I think I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I waited and like maybe a day or two later watched the other ones. And I think I enjoyed it a lot more. Sitting down and watching that almost 3 hours, to me, it's not enough action in it. In the way he does it, where it's such long sequences of dialogue, it's hard to watch it. Also, Black Mama would be easy cosplay. Yeah, that's an awesome character too. Man, you got to run me back in here. My shit is, like I said, if I'm lagging, it's because I got a damn thing message from my I'm usually not on here this long, and I think my AVG is trying to run something. I just had to close it, but either way, Django and Chain of Reservoir Worst ones, fucking the Reservoir Dogs is amazing, dude. Doing so little. I mean, doing so much with so little. And I love the style of the showing in flashbacks, and then the soundtrack of that one is amazing. I love the soundtrack of that. And Glorious Bastards, this guy is such good acting in it. I don't know. Like I said, all his movies are so good. He says he only do one more film, but I expect him to start doing maybe a TV series. Yeah, or maybe that's what I was thinking. Or maybe now that you got streaming services, somebody will talk him into doing something different. But I don't know. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he'll never stick with that." I think he will. He might write scripts for people. I mean, people forget that he still wrote stuff for like Sin City and what was that? True Romance. He's written episodes. CSI directed one of those. So I kind of think that he will stick with his guns and only do one more, where he does everything in it. He puts so much into his movies. Like I watched him a video where he was in his record album collection and he was picking the tracks for his scores. I mean, he puts so much detail and thought into everything. It's got to be exhausting. Guilty pleasure movie you're embarrassed to admit you love. Oh, well, I mean, that's pretty easy. A lot of those ones are in that fucking Burt box set. Cannonball Run 2, Smokey and the Bandit 3. I was talking about that with somebody the other day. I wrote down a couple of movies. Let me see if I can find my note. Maximum Overdrive. That's a guilty pleasure. The first Swamp Thing in the uncut version with Adrian Barbeau's boobs in all of their glory. Mannequin. Beverly Hills Cop 3 is not as bad as people say it is. Smoking the Bandit 3. Yeah, that's a lot of my guilty pleasure movies. Grease is actually a good movie, though. I mean, if you don't say Grease 2, though. I don't know that anybody can watch that, but yeah, so the ones I listed are some of the ones that I last comment. The camera lens is a big black dot when watching videos, and also I don't know what that is. What do you mean the big camera lens? Oh, you talking about when somebody else's camera's too close? Oh, the ones you mentioned are the ones you like. Yeah, I thought those are good. Cool Pixar 2. Yeah, those are good. But like I said, Grease, a lot of people like Grease. Grease 2 is painful to watch. And did you see they're doing the Pink Ladies show on Paramount Plus for Grease? Wonder if that's going to be any good. Thank you, Bizarro Supergirl. I haven't cosplayed either of those. And my favorite Burt Reynolds movie outside of Smokey. Burt Reynolds. Man, I like so many of his movies. Let me see real quick. Burt Reynolds. You talking about him as like the actual main star? Longest Yard's right up there, man. I just bought that on the Kino Blu-ray. I'm trying to look back at some of his old ones because I know I'm gonna miss a bunch. Cannonball Run. Deliverance is good. I think Longest Yard is my favorite movie with him. That's not Smokey and the Bandit. But I remember watching all his movies growing up with my dad. Fuzz, I remember watching that all the time. Fuzz was good. I remember watching a White Lightning. I love all those early Burt Reynolds movies. Gator is fucking cool. Semi-tough. But I think Longest Yard's probably my favorite one other than Smokey and the Bandit. I love Cannonball Run. I wasn't a huge fan of Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Hooper's pretty good. Yeah, Jan Michael Vincent is in that. I didn't like City Heat. I kind of like Stick, so I might have to look into that. But yeah, I think I just like the concept of the football game. I'm big into football, so that's probably why I picked that one. Some films that I'm wishing for Blu-ray releases on. I don't know, man. The couple that I really, really wanted got released here recently. I have to think about that one. Because a bunch of the movies that I had on VHS that I was holding out on, they eventually released them on Blu-ray. That I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Oh yeah, well that stuff's Abyss is coming out. And then I've heard he's already remastered True Lies, and then that'll come out. Yeah, those are always on everybody's top list. So I wasn't going to mention those. I was going to try to find out some obscure stuff. Maybe I should do a video about that. Some of the more obscure titles that I'm still relating. Well, because as you know, since you watched my video, I've been waiting for a damn Blu-ray, a U.S. release Blu-ray of Cannonball Run 2. I don't know why I like that movie so much, but why did they not release the U.S. poster artwork in that set? Why did they release those damn Asian and I guess Spanish? I bought a Tarantino book on Books of Me in a bookstore. I bought that book. I got it for Christmas. Yeah, Bullet is one of my favorite Steve McQueen movies. If you like Steve McQueen though, I'm really partial to, I think it might have been his last movie, The Hunter. That's really good. Yeah, what's the fuck is with James Cameron not releasing his stuff on Blu-ray? Yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go through my collection and make a video of the movies that I still want a Blu-ray release of. Don't get you started on those posters. Man, I was so looking forward to having like a really cool, like I was gonna maybe hang the Smokey and the Bandit one over here or somewhere in the background. I was just really disappointed um in those posters, man. But oh well. And what was with those retro commercial ad cards? I really thought for some reason that I had read that that they were going to do cards like advertising the movies. And wasn't the original box? Didn't somebody say that they were going to put a mustache in there? But either way, it's pretty sad. I bought that set just to get Stroker Ace and Cannonball Run 2 in on Blu-ray. Yeah, that's true. Did Bizarre? Did you go to SDCC? See, that's the vibe. I didn't. I haven't been out to the West Coast for any of those conventions. I'd love to go do that. You're Switzerland on that release. Well, as you can see in my I've tried to be straight down the middle with it. If it's, I mean, like I said, I told you why I bought the set, but I'm really disappointed in some of the special features. Burt Reynolds was in Striptease. Yes, he was. He's a pretty good. He was also in Boogie Nights, so he was pretty good sleazebag in both of those. She was Spider Gwen. You got any pictures of that? I like to see that. That'd be cool if you cosplay as Spider Gwen. Yeah, you mentioned Frankenstein and Me. Wasn't that that Burt Reynolds movie with him? And didn't we say that we could only buy it on VHS? I got some ideas for some videos. I want to do bad movies that I love, and you already heard some of those. I want to do my favorite cyber horror movies because I've just watched a couple that were really good. I want to do a movie of my favorite nude scenes in horror movies. I want to do my favorite movie openings, like the whole beginning scene that opens a movie. What are my favorite ones? And then I got another one of what are my favorite WTF moments in horror movies. That's some ideas I'm jotting down of videos to make. A lot of Burt still to release on Blu-ray. Dixie Dance Kings. I need him. I also did Red and Blue Spider Girl for a while, but spilled my soda. Grr. Wait a minute. Yeah, I like Saturn 3. That's pretty good. That's digging into the deep with that one. See, this guy, I told you, man, he's the Burt expert. When I wanted to know something about Burt Reynolds, that's when I discovered his videos. As far as Burt, he's the man. And I love Mary Lou Henner in Cannonball Run too, man. She's so fucking cute in that movie. I'd have picked her over Shirley MacLaine, but I know they got the age difference thing there. Watched Chinatown the other night. Such a great film. I mean, I haven't watched that in a while. Maddie was posting pictures on Facebook 16 minutes ago. Tell her she's got to come by the damn stream again. That's not fair. But either way. All right, dudes. I'm going to have to get off here. I got to go to work in the morning. And I'm on the East Coast, so I got to get up. It's already like 12:30. So I really appreciate you guys coming by, especially you, Gator Man. Stop by anytime. We're doing a stream. Yeah, I'm going to try and interview Mary Lou Henner when I get the Evening Shade. That would be fucking amazing. I love her, man. She's still a sweetheart. I've seen her do some interviews on other stuff. So, yeah, I'll be watching that. Cool Picks. I love both of those. Yep. Cheers, Jeff. Yeah, cheers to you, man. You are the man. Thanks for coming by and stepping the chat up a notch. I love all you guys that support me. So you got to get up earlier than me, bro. So either way. And I never remember doing it. I didn't put the fucking banner up again down there. How am I ever going to get support? Nobody ever knows that they can hit super chats or Cash App or any of that stuff. I don't do a lot of shilling, man. I don't ask for a lot of stuff on here. So I always forget to put the banner up at the bottom. But either way, too little, too late now. Anybody watches this now or later, my info's down below in the description of any way you can support the channel. I'm going to try to do a lot more content other than movie hunts this year. I really appreciate the support of all you guys, especially somebody. It's pretty cool that somebody like Gator discovered my channel because of my unboxing video of that. He said he liked my style. Well, my style is just me. It's whatever I want to say, whenever I want to say it, however I want to say it. I don't have a special style. So you guys know how I am. So good night, everybody. Take care. Yep. Appreciate everybody that watched it. Anybody that comes onto the stream after the fact and watches this after it posts to YouTube, don't forget to hit a like button. All you guys hit a like on your way out the door. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, don't forget to hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when I post new videos. Have a great night. Mary Lou Henner. She was in Taxi. She's in the movie Cannonball Run 2. So you can look her up there. She's a sweetheart. She looks really good in that movie too. It's Cannonball Run 2. So as you can tell, we like 80s stuff here and horror movies and anything else pop culture related. So that's me. I'm JEFFMAN316, your pop culture reporter, and I'm signing out saying, you guys be safe out there.
Mr. Mayor, Chief, ladies and gentlemen.